Hello, it's Dumplet here. Welcome to a collaboration project between Dumplet and Cedie's Mathverse on Hong Kong International Math Olympiad questions. For this one, x equals the expression you see here on the screen. Find the value of x in simplest terms. As usual, pause this video if you'd like to give this item a try, but if you're done, let us dive into the solution. So at first glance, this problem seems very obscure since we have square root 83, square root 3, square root 81, and the pattern just continues, and as you can see in the red part, dot dot dot, this pattern goes towards infinity. Now, these types of problems are actually relatively easy because with the concept of repeating parts, we can actually find part of something within that something. So what do we mean by that? So since we have this part to be x, so we have this part to be x, and you can see here within the value, or within the expression here, we have a part here, square root 83, square root 3, and so on. Well, this part is just x because the pattern goes towards infinity. So we know that within this part of dot dot dots, there's still 83, square root 81, square root 3, and so on. So we can actually just write this equation as follows. So x is equal to, we can write the first few parts, square root 81, square root 3, and then this highlighted part, that's simply x. So we have this equation over here. So all we have to do is just solve for x in this equation. So we have that, and let's try to solve for x. So let's try to get rid of the radical signs because they're pretty ugly. So let's just square both sides, and if we square both sides, we could get x squared equals, well, this radical symbol, the first one is gone, so it just becomes 81 square root of 3x. Now, since we have 81 and 3, they're technically kind of related. We can write 81 as 3 raised to 4, so that's a little bit more promising. And we still have this square root, so let's try to square both sides again. So squaring both sides again for the second time, x raised to 4 would equal, well, 3 raised to 4. If I square that, it becomes 3 raised to 8. And then this one, if I square it, this just becomes 3x. So we have 3 raised to 8 times 3x. So we have this so far. And take note of the highlighted terms or the underlined terms. We can combine them together as follows. So for the blue part, we have the x's, and the green part, we have the 3 raised to 8 and the 3. Now notice how, let's focus on the green part first. This part, we can say that x raised to 4 equals, well, 3 raised to 8 times 3, that's just 3 raised to 9. There's laws of exponents, we simply add the exponent. We have the exponent here of 1, and so it's x raised to 4 equals 3 raised to 9 times x. Now, take a look at the x's here. We can cancel the x out if we are sure that x is not equal to 0. So let's go back to the original given. Well, we're taking the square root of some number over here, so this part, well, it is expected that this number is positive since we have 81 times square root 3 and so on, and we're just dealing with square roots, so we're dealing with positive numbers here, so it is expected that x cannot be 0. So since x is not 0, we can safely divide both sides by x. So we have x cubed equals 3 raised to 9, and all we have to do is just take the cube root of both sides. So take the cube root of both sides, and we're going to get that x is equal to, well, the cube root of 3 raised to 9 is 3 raised to 9 divided by 3, and 9 divided by 3, that gives us simply 3. So x equals 3 cubed, or we can simply get that x equals 27. And this will be our final answer. Hopefully you guys learned something new from this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!